And welcome, folks, to another edition of Steady Dropping Dimes. We are back. You know how we like to bring it to you. Me and the crew, me and my fellas, we break it down every single week. We give you real opinions from real guys, real thoughts, nothing contrived, nothing made up, no, no false arguments. We giving you real opinions. And we're able to do this on Steady Dropping Dimes with my guy, Devin Gardner, who I'm working hard. I'm working hard to get DG. See, you see how I work for my young brothers. I'm working hard to get DG out to the Rose Bowl. You know what my
Okay.
holdup is, Daniel? My
What's
holdup
that?
is I'm trying to get him a private jet. And it's just so hard. It's just so
You got that 30, 40K, huh?
Hey man, Sam, you got it though. I don't know why you acting like that.
I
Stop acting sweet, man. You got it.
I don't have the private jet, buddy. But I got my crew. I got my man Devin Gardner, former All-American quarterback out of high school, five-star prospect, went on to be a starting quarterback at the University of Michigan. He needs no introduction. He's doing his thing on Fox now, doing it so well that they fired Reggie Bush and said,
That's not what happened. Stop lying.
No, it didn't happen. Oh,
hey, man, they fired Reggie Bush and said, we got to clear a path for the young brother. We're going to go get my man from Flint. We're going to make it happen, get Mark Ingram, and then we're going to go get Sam's other man, DG,
I
and
can't
get him
stand
ready
you.
for that other seat. So
I
I
can't
you
stand you.
next up.
and my man Daniel Horton, straight no chaser. So you starting to see. I told Daniel, hey man, you can let him. Let him have more of you because the people see the button up Daniel Horton. They don't see the Danny Horton we see. Slowly but surely, you guys are getting a chance to do that. All American point guard, the McDonald's All American. He was until recently. Like there hadn't been a McDonald's All American point guard in Michigan for like 20 years. You were our player in like 20 years. You were like the last one, Daniel, for like 2 decades, man, and
Hopefully
held
that
it
changes
down
soon.
at Michigan at a time where no one was holding it down for Michigan.
Mhm.
This dude came. Almost brought Chris Bosh with you, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the biggest what if in Michigan basketball history in the last 20, 25 years. We might have a couple more banners up there if he came.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man. It was Kevin Garnett. KG said I was going to Michigan. You know, I don't know. I probably if he qualified, I think that's what it was. If he qualified, he was coming to Michigan, and he said, I don't got to worry about that. I don't got to qualify to go to the NBA.
Yeah, right.
I just got to qualify to sign my name on those checks, and we'll
Yeah.
get it done. This is all made possible by our friends at Destination Ann Arbor. Excited to let you know we're about to get out and start doing the My Ann Arbor tours around Ann Arbor with one of their ambassadors. You see his picture, Will Johnson, right up there. He has a toy drive coming up. Excited to tell you more about that in a matter of moments. But Destination Ann Arbor, your tour guides to all things Ann Arbor, places to go, places to eat, places to stay. We're even going to take you to a golf simulator. We'll talk more about that in the I Love Ann Arbor segment of this particular Steady Dropping Dimes episode. But without further ado, I've been wanting, waiting, wishing, hoping for this next guest. Yeah, when I heard the young fella get on the mic, I said, he's a natural fit for Steady Dropping Dimes. There was one dissenting opinion in this panel. I think he was a dissenting opinion because he felt like, if I let this young fella on the broadcast, he might out-talk me. Who can out-talk Devin Gardner? Nobody can out-talk Devin Gardner but Semaj Morgan. I think that's what it was all about, DG. I think you didn't want young Maj on.
I'm trying to protect Semaj Morgan from himself.
Because Maj got that mouthpiece. He got that mouthpiece. And he said, Daniel, he said, man, DG always trying to be bad cop. Well, without further ado, let's bring the young fella onto the scene. Michigan freshman wide out. That's not your camera. I'm getting it squared away, young fella. Michigan freshman wide out. Young Mr. Semaj Morgan joining us here on the broadcast, making it happen on Steady Dropping Dimes. And I got to tell you, folks, that I am excited to have you and Semaj Senior on. So Semaj Senior, I see your neck, man.
Yeah, I really can't hear y'all.
Oh, you can't hear us? Is your camera is it muted? Is it muted?
Pardon me?
Turn up the volume, man.
It's up all the way.
It's up all the way, but you can barely hear me. All right, so we will try to be audible for you.
That internet, man.
Here's what we'll do though.
You got that Android.
Here we
Hey,
go.
Hey, I see. Me and Semaj
Here we
agree. The Android is garbage, and now we can't get the show done because we got an
Here we
Android
go.
unit.
Yeah,
no,
I was a fan of
Android is
Young
fine.
Blood too.
The Android is fine. So, Maj, before we get into letting you say your piece to DG, because I know you got things to say to DG. You see this behind me? The toy giveaway
Yes, sir.
coming up on Saturday.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, Sunday at the Blue Leprechaun,
Sunday.
noon until 2. People can donate toys and help spread some joy here in Southeast Michigan. So tell the folks all about it.
So Sunday, December 17th, me and Will Johnson will be doing a toy drive at the Blue Leprechaun in Ann Arbor. You can come, you can drop some toys off, and you can take pictures with me and Will Johnson. And what else? We will be having like food and things like that, and it's just gonna be a great event. You know, just family, friends, and just giving, spirit of giving back in the holidays.
So how did you guys come up with the idea, Maj? I mean, this is something you guys got a lot on your plate, a lot to do here at this time, getting ready for the Rose Bowl. How did you guys come up with the idea to say, "Hey, let's get together and do this"?
Well, so as some people might know, I have my own foundation, and you know that's just like the whole like point of me having a foundation is just giving back. And I know like me and Will like coming like from like Coach Blackwell like being like some of his players like Coach Blackwell always like stressed it like give back, give back. So I know like just we all like we both got the spirit of giving back, and we just want to help people. So I feel like that's where all this came from. Just like having it deep down in our hearts that we just want to help and give back to kids like low income like families like in the city of Detroit and or like like kids that we might know or like kids that is in Ann Arbor or other places, not just Detroit, but like like we just got the spirit of giving back, and it's in our hearts, and we like to do it.
So Samaj Senior, I know you proud of the young fella, man. Following in your footsteps. Can you hear us now? Still can't hear us. All right.
Nope. I'm gonna try to send it to the.
Still got an Android.
I'm gonna try to send the link to the business line. So maybe.
Okay. We'll make that happen. Yeah, send
Hey,
it.
Samaj, time out, Samaj. How are you letting your daddy walk around? How you gonna have all this swag? We getting down, we getting busy. We like that. No cap. On my mama, we like that. And how you gonna let your daddy walk around an Android? What you doing, man?
Bro, it's crazy. He got an iPhone and an Android, but he love the Android, so he do what he want to do.
Yeah, he love the Android because he know that's what it's about. I want an Android.
He can use whichever one. You know what I'm saying? He got both though. He got both.
Yeah, man. So again, folks, I want to give you the information. Again, the toy giveaway coming up this Sunday, noon until 2 at the Blue Leprechaun. And it's something that's a team-wide thing. I know, Maj, you can talk about it. You were at Blake's toy drive last week. It was amazing to see the turnout. And what I was really taken aback by, all the people, and then all the guys from the team that showed up to kind of show love and support for each other and for the people, man. That was some stand-up stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's just like the team we are. We all for one for all, and there was a lot of people there, man. We was there for a lot of time, a lot of minutes, a lot of hours. But that's just that's just the type of people we are. We don't have a problem with helping people, you know what I'm saying? Or, making somebody day or putting a smile on their face. So we just all the same people, like we just gonna do what we have to do on the field and off the field just to be stand-up guys. We not just football players, we stand-up guys too. So
yeah, man. So I got a pressing question before I turn it over to my fellas, and I'm gonna try to get Pops back on here. I just want to know, and the people want to know, man, why is Devin Gardner always hating on you?
I don't think he hating.
Why don't Devin Gardner? Why don't DG let you be you? That's what I mean. He don't hate on you.
Time out.
Why don't he let you be
Tell
you?
him who knew about Samaj, the very first person that knew about Samaj.
Yeah, like DG don't hate me. DG just, he just know a little bit more than everybody else might know. Man, he trying to like, you feel me? He ain't really trying to tell on me, but like it's like, like
I got
trying to give out a little heads up, cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm a lot.
Erica Morgan said, "Tell Devin, my baby ain't crazy. And my baby ain't crazy." So I'm passing that message right now. That her baby ain't crazy, Devin Gardner.
Listen, Samaj know he crazy. That's why he like that. Right? That's what make him who he is, right?
Exactly.
I just want to make sure just come on in just a little
just
bit.
really
Let's
in a
not
little
go
bit.
too far. Let's not tip the scales so we get out of our position where we running things. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know he's just like Pops. Like when I watch Maj, see, you see him on
Look, his camera better than everything. He clearly on iPhone now.
I told you.
He clearly on iPhone now. He can hear. It look good. It look like he got a ring light. It look like he's killing it right now.
Hey,
I'm sexy, like Donovan say. I'm looking sexy.
Oh, pause, man.
now y'all see where he get it from, right?
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
I like
so
this.
Semaj Senior, hey, your
Yes, sir.
son, he did a great job of breaking down for the people about the toy drive and where it came from. Just the inspiration behind it. How proud you are of your son at this point, man?
Very proud, because at the end of the day, football is, our means to get to where we want to be. But you got to give back to the community. If you're not doing that, you missing the whole thing. Like, we got a lot of people that need our help. So we have to go outside or, get off the football field and go out here and help these people. So that's what we instilled in him. And also Coach Blackwell from Sound Mind, Sound Body. That's what you have to do to be a part of that program. It's community service. So it's in him. And he loved to do it. Like, he loved interacting with the fans, the kids, the parents. So, before he graduated, he said, "Dad, this is what I have to do." I said, "Well, we already got you set up, son. You just go play football, and we're gonna handle everything else."
Yeah, man, it's been a real pleasure to watch high school translate to college. It takes a little longer for some guys, but Maj, man, you came in and you've been playing for Jump. How difficult was the transition for you?
I would say like two things I had like an issue with was like the first thing was just like Michigan is the type of program that's gonna put its players in like adverse situations. Like every single day we come in here, it's like something different. Like we gonna do something different where it's like they gonna change something like right there on the fly, like just to see how like our minds work and like how we gonna adapt to it. Like so like I say like the first thing I had a problem with was like just how like fast everything goes and like how like quick turnarounds is. You know what I'm saying? Like during spring ball, we came in on Monday, we got it installed on Monday, and like we ran that same install that we just put in practice. Then we'd come the next day, get a new install, then run that practice. So I had a little bit.
You're like, hold on, I just learned it. How we gonna do it already?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was like real fast for me at first, and then like the playbook, I was like, I'm more of a hands-on, like do it myself type of learning, not really like a sit down and watch what's going on or like somebody just tell me what to do. I'm more of a go do it. So at first I was struggling with the playbook just because I'm sitting here, I can understand concepts, I can understand like all type of football things, but I'm sitting here, I'm like scrolling. Dang, there's a lot going on. Like I just can't look at it and then okay, I got it. No, I gotta go do it. So the playbook and then just like how fast everything went. Them was like the two biggest adjustments for me.
So with Semaj, when I learn new offense, every single time, the one thing, especially playing, quarterback, you gotta know where everybody is, but even playing receiver, if you're not the X, knowing where you gotta line up on the different formations, where you get formation in the boundary, where you get formation where you flip when you want to get. We want to get Semaj in this spot, so he used to be over here. He's still the Z or whatever position he playing, but we want to get over here, and this is a different word. How hard was it learning all the formations that y'all have? Because a lot of what y'all do is doing the same type of plays from different formations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be able to know all those formations. How hard was it in the beginning learning all the formations?
To be honest with you, that was probably like the easiest part of the playbook. Like I just so it's like the way like we have like kind of like rules like for our formations and like where to line up and things like that. So once I learned like my splits, like that's how I start learning like where to line up, like my splits on certain routes or my splits on certain plays or like splits on certain formations that they call. So like I was just like me trying to learn it. It was just like it wasn't as bad, but like it didn't take me, an hour or something like that. No, it took me some time, but like we do like, and another thing, like we run a pro style offense too, so we do like almost every formation like it is. Like we do every single formation, so it was a lot on me, but I feel like the formations I did I did pretty good with them. Like it was just like learning the plays and things like that.
So when did you get comfortable enough to start letting that mouthpiece work? Because I know that's part of your game, man. When did you feel comfortable enough to start talking? And then, is there anyone on the team that when you like, man, I gotta have my game tight, and I gotta have my mouthpiece tight because they can give it back to me with how they talk. Who's the
Well,
biggest trash talker that you face on the team?
So when I got comfortable for like to be talking, I ain't gonna lie, like since I've been here, I always act the same, like as I was in high school. And that's why like when I got here, like a lot of the older guys like had respect for me. And I also knew a lot of the older guys too. But like I just like as soon as I got here, they welcomed me in. I was just being myself, you know what I'm saying? But like it's like I say, like during spring ball, I was doing real good during spring ball. So, like we
You
was
was letting
talking
them know.
during then. But like really though, at practice, we really don't talk like we don't really talk trash like at
So
practice. Cause
have you? What about on the field? What about in games? Have you run into anybody trying to talk to you a lot on the field?
yeah, I don't be going for it though. I be talking right back. Like, well, you soft, like for real. Like, and like I really do this football thing, bro.
Yes, sir.
And like I ain't going for none of that talking. But if I'm in the game and I ain't did nothing yet, oh, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. If I'm in the game and I ain't did nothing, I ain't saying nothing. I'm just gonna try to, you feel me, get my little game going, you know what I'm saying? But the people who was talking crazy was Ohio State and Purdue. It was Ohio State and Purdue. Them was like the most like, oh, and Maryland too.
Yeah,
Maryland too.
I can see
They
that.
was talking like the most to
Them
us. So
DMV
like,
kids and DMV kids, you talking crazy for sure.
yeah, that was
I never said, "Oh,
Maryland.
don't let him make a play." Then it's over.
Yeah.
It's over for
Nah. Hey,
everybody.
let me ask you a question. So, as we switch gears a little bit, like part of the show we talk about our experiences in Ann Arbor, right?
Mm-hmm.
What has been your best memory or your best experience that's been non-football related so far, like a party or just hanging out, just a moment where you just like, hey, this is why I chose
Hey,
this.
and something you can share.
Yeah.
You share.
Like this is why this is other than football. This is why I chose
Yeah,
Michigan.
hey,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
This is national. This is everybody can see it. So
Mhm.
let's keep that in mind. All right, go.
I say a memory. It was just like something good. I like I'm real big on like brotherhood and like friendships and things like that. So things I like, like when we are just chilling at like one of our teammates' crib, we just chilling, laughing, playing and talking, or like watching a movie or something. Cause like I'm real goofy too, so like we gonna laugh, we gonna play around, we gonna, what I'm saying, goof off. But like, that's probably like a favorite memory of mine. Like just like chilling with my teammates. Like I be with like Jair Hill, like Cam Calhoun, Fred Moore. I be with them a lot. So like non-football, like when we just like all chilling together, it just be like real funny, real goofy, and just wholesome. So
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope. That's
People was
dope.
grabbing their popcorn, Miles. It was like, oh, what he about to say? Nah, we ain't gonna be the reason that Ron Bellamy and Jim Harbaugh was like, hey man, what y'all have him on there talking about? We had him on here talking about his toy drive.
toy drive,
His
toy
toy
drive,
drive. Noon
toy
to 2
drive.
on Sunday. Bring your toy. You can take a picture with the fellas doing great things in the community. And I can't say enough, man. Just proud of how you've gotten the journey started. And that's what's so crazy. It feels like we've been talking about this dude forever because we talk about you every week. I think you know that, right? We talk
Yeah,
about you every
I
week.
seen the show last week. I was laughing, man. Y'all funny, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, we have a great time. I know you got meetings today. So it's going to be an outstanding event on Sunday. Want to see so many of you folks make it out if you can. Donate a toy. You can take a picture with Semaj and with Will, who's going to be around Blue Leopard. So Blue Leprechaun is a great place, a great vibe there. So come on out. One question, Semaj.
No, I got one more.
Okay, so you
I got
two,
one
I
more.
got So let me ask mine. I look at, man, you got 1st round corners on this Bama defense, allegedly, supposedly, according to projections, man. As you watch film, early film, what do you think of that defense you guys are about to face this close?
It's Alabama. Obviously, they not no cupcakes, but we respect them. And we gonna prepare the right way and the same way we've been preparing to win. So that's how I feel. They're a great team. They're a great defense, but they still human. They still play football just like we do, and we respect them. But we just gonna prepare and then do what we do.
All right.
All right.
Devin,
I
ask
got
your
the final
question.
question. Before you go get it means and all that. And I think everybody needs to know. They want to hear from you. They heard it from you, but they want to hear from you. Maybe a little bit of why. No cap. You can't lie here. You got to tell the truth.
Shit, okay.
Who is the best freshman in the country?
It's this guy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all though. It's this guy named what's his name? It's the like he from Michigan. His name's Semaj Morgan.
You knew it was coming.
Oh, my mama.
On my mama. He
Oh,
from
my
Michigan. His name's
mama.
Semaj Morgan.
You knew it was
Love
coming.
the confidence. Love that. Keep that
Love
up, young
it, man.
blood.
Hey, man. Get over to your meetings. I know you in the building. I know you got things to do. Appreciate your time. We're gonna talk to some pops for a minute now. Friday, you keep representing, man. Keep doing what you
Appreciate
Oh,
you
my
guys, man.
mama.
Y'all have a
My
great day.
mama.
So tell the people one more time about the toy drive.
So we got the big toy drive coming up. We got the Blue Leprechaun on Sunday from 12 to 2. Drop a toy off, take a picture. This is the actual drive. So we're going to be collecting all the toys. And then the actual giveaway is December 23rd at the Hillman Community Center in Detroit, zip code 48205. That's one of the areas that we need to bless some kids at. We have identified over 600 children already that need our help. And guess what? We just started registration the other day. So our goal is to try to bless as many families as we can. But right now we're at about 600 for the event on the 23rd. We have Hood Bachi, who's going to be sponsoring some food to give out to the families when they come in. We have Wankos, who's going to be sponsoring food to give to the families also, because we just don't want to give them a toy and send them on their way. They might not have a meal that night. So we have to prepare for them in all different areas. We have the dental office coming. They have dental hygiene kits. We have Comcast, who's donating 500 drawstring bags so we can fill them with toys. And then also they're going to put in Internet Essential coupons in the bag for families that can't afford high-speed internet. They could get high-speed internet for like $9 a month to help with kids if they need to need some internet in the home. So we got a lot of good stuff going on over here, and I'm just excited to be partnering with Will and his family because they're an awesome family. And like I say, Will and Samaj been around each other for years, and Sound Mind, Sound Body. So this is something they want to do, and we just really excited to be partnering with them and to give back to the community. So, and we appreciate y'all bringing us on the show to get the word out.
All right, Semaj Senior again, toy drive this Sunday, Blue Leprechaun, noon until 2 p.m. Bring a toy, take a picture with the fellas. It's going to be an outstanding event that supports a lot of kids. Semaj, appreciate your time, man. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right, hey man, hey, get rid of that iPhone.
We about to go win this national championship, dog. Watch what I tell you.
Hey, and make sure they get rid of that iPhone. Tell them to get you a new Droid, man.
I absolutely will.
All right, man.
Thank y'all so much. Have a great day.
All right. So people's like, what's that crackling? It's the iPhone. It was the iPhone. Devin talked so much slander, give us so much.
Listen. Big Maj was doing a wrestling match with his phone. You can't blame that on iPhone. He doing all this, carrying on and rubbing all over the bottom of the microphone. Man, don't try to blame iPhone.
It was sounding like that when he was sitting still.
He wasn't sitting still.
Yes, he was. Hey, Daniel, you're muted, man. Let's unmute you. I know you probably thought it was you. It wasn't you because
that
you don't have an
microphone.
iPhone.
Hey, the iPhone had a popcorn machine in it. That's why I don't
Yeah,
buy
it
them.
did. Yeah, it did. Folks, get you guys some droids. So and get out and support Semaj, support Will, doing big things. Both those guys were out at Blake's Toy Drive last week, the whole time. Now they're doing their own this week. That's just big time. And then taking it a step beyond. You got to be impressed with guys who use their platform to help others. I happen to think, and I wonder what you guys think of this because it kind of segues into another topic. You know, I feel like there's a responsibility. You can put it across the board for athletes in general, but I think certainly when you come from a community, a disadvantaged community, that it is your responsibility that when you get to a level or you have a platform where you can help pull others up, I think it's your responsibility to do so. That's just my personal belief, right? So when I see guys like we were talking last week about how Charles got on TV and put on the buffs, I was like, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And then you see these young guys doing the same thing to, for their communities. That says something to me. That says something to me about them, about their families, about the guys in this program, DG.
Absolutely. It's important. And all the things, all the points that Semaj and his dad hit on as far as helping the community and giving back to people who are a little less fortunate. I mean, it just means so much. I mean, I just got a text message from a lady I met a couple of years ago on the airplane, and she just said, hey, I don't know if you remember, I met you 3 years ago, and you kind of just made the mood lighter, and you had no idea I was going through so much stuff. And so, long story short, you have no idea how you can impact someone in any time you meet people, let alone an opportunity to help kids and give hope, because I think hope is the most powerful thing. It can be used against people and you can use it for good. And I think they're using hope for good. And it's a beautiful thing to see, especially because these aren't like scrubs who like, I need to find something else to do because I ain't really balling. Like, oh, no. They're getting down on the field. They're balling, but they're also giving everything that they've gotten back to the community. It's a good thing to see.
Daniel, we're gonna get to Jason Whitlock here in a minute, because he is the antithesis of what I'm talking about.
No,
Can't
sure.
stand him.
I have
don't know him. Can't stand him.
I
don't know if he put on a character or whatever. Can't stand him.
No, you can't fake it like that. My personal opinion, I think everything he represents is garbage.
Yeah.
I think he is a ridiculous excuse for an opinion giver, because his opinions, even if they're authentic, I guess it's worse if they're inauthentic. At least if they're authentic, you at least are being real. And I tend to think.
Hold on, wait, Sam. If they're authentic, his mind is scary. The way it works. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's like, if it to your point, if the stuff that he's really saying is out, I know we'll get to it, but if the stuff he's saying is really genuine, if he really believes that stuff, then he has larger issues. We'll look into that.
So I don't know if you guys know or not, but I do my best to try not to see anything he talks about or does, because I just know he's a dummy, right? And that's kind of a mean word maybe, but some of the stuff he says is just like, come on, man. Like, I understand the whole pandering to a specific audience and trying to make sure you get clicks and all that. But at some point you take it too far. And I think he does it all the time. And I don't even know what y'all talking about, but I can't wait to see it.
Well, he seems to go out of his way to demean and disparage black people, black men in particular.
100%.
And I have a problem with that. Him having a platform that he has, he is ignoring the responsibility that he has with that platform. Now, I'm not saying that you gotta adopt every single cause that you think everyone in the black community wants you to adopt. I'm not saying that. But you have a responsibility to not pull down, to not inflate stereotypes, to not amplify mischaracterizations of black people. And he amplifies every single one of them. And so he took some liberties with this Juwan Howard thing, right? So for those who don't know, last week there was a verbal altercation in an argument in practice. And Dan, you can kind of speak to this. I'm actually going to write some more details over on the MichiganInsider.com. Have some things to been tending to over the last couple of days. But I'm going to talk more about it on TMI tonight. But there was an argument between Sandman and Juwan, and it was audible. You know, I was asking. I heard about it at the time, and by the time it got to me, the rumor was Juwan hit him. I was like, now, here's the thing. If he hit him, I would have heard about it.
Yeah.
And not to say that I hear everything, but I would have heard about that immediately if he had hit him. Because it went from he hit him to he body slammed. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. Right? And so then you get to the game, and Sandman doesn't make the trip. So that really sends people into a tease. Because this was Friday when I heard about it. Kind of, I was like, I would have heard about a punch if it had really happened. I ignored it and kept it moving. Did the toy drive on Saturday. They started hearing some rumblings. More, I think he hit him. And then Sunday, when Sandman didn't make the trip to Iowa, that's when it really took off. He's not there. This is why Juwan is going to resign. And I'm thinking to myself, I say, Juwan's at the game.
Hold on, what'd you say, Sam? What'd you say who?
I said, Juwan's at the game. So let's just use deductive reasoning both ways. So you deduce from Sanderson's absence that something happened, that he must have got hit. But you don't deduce from Juwan's presence that he didn't hit him. How does that make sense, fellas? And given the zero tolerance policy that we know is attached to Juwan at this point by virtue of the Krabenhoff slap, right? Krabenhoff has some,
the 5 fingers.
He gave him the stab in the face. Can't do it. I said it at the time. There's a suspension coming from that. Nobody's excusing that at all, right? But if he had hit him, there's no way he makes that trip. Kept going on. So I said, let me get some definitive word. And so I did. I couldn't reach out, couldn't holler at my guys on the team at the time. Got to them later. But heard from some people around here said, man, it was no hit. It was an argument, but nothing physical. And there's no resignation. And man, you would have thought that, no one was amplifying that as much. I mean, the rumor was so salacious. Everybody was talking about that. Then when we put out that it wasn't a slap, then you start to see Jalen came out with a tweet after that. Then you saw other stories come out after that. But very first one to say he didn't hit him was us over on TMI. And I'm like, well, why isn't this getting as much traction as the original story? Which brings us to Jason Whitlock. So I got to bring this to the screen, and I want you guys to react to this. I'm going to share this screen and bring you Whitlock. So he says, Juwan Howard isn't suffering from CTE. He never played football. He is suffering from BLM. The BLM disease is rampant among Black people. It's a mindset that says all Black problems are rooted in the existence of white people. What is he talking about? What does that have to do with what happened in this particular instance? How did he grab that from a incident that clearly he has not checked into?
That's wild.
Does he have any idea the series of events that led to this verbal argument? None. But you see the liberties he just took. And so now, hear what he had to say. Now I'll let you hear what he had to say.
Juwan Howard has managed to get tossed from a game. Can you believe that? With his team playing poorly against Texas Tech, Howard argued with referees as his team exited the court at halftime. He received 2 technical fouls and was ejected. And then Howard's incident with John Sanderson, white guy, reportedly revolves around a dispute about the rehabilitation of Howard's son, a member of the Michigan basketball team. Juwan Howard, if he were a former football player at any level, if he played football at Pee Wee level, let alone the NFL level, everybody in the media would claim he's suffering from CTE. Everybody was like, hey man, we got to get this guy out of here. He's got CTE, he's crazy, he has no control over his faculties. But since he's a basketball player, no one says anything. Everyone, this is normal, or this isn't a big deal, or they make excuses, or it's racism, or whatever. Juwan Howard isn't suffering from CTE. He never played football. He didn't play soccer. He's suffering from BLM. Since the death of George Floyd, Juwan Howard has decorated the Michigan warm-ups with BLM slogans. Say their names and all this other garbage. He's been one of the most outspoken proponents of Black Lives Matter. He's not alone. The BLM disease is rampant among Black people. It's a mindset that says all Black problems are rooted in the existence of white people and white authority. When Juwan Howard loses a game, he's been programmed to believe white people cost him the points he needed to win. It's white derangement syndrome. Academia, corporate media, and the high-profile race hustlers academia and corporate media promote have brainwashed Black people into believing white people are God and control the destiny of Black people.
So, yeah.
I'm about to say that's enough of that. Lord have mercy.
That is some of the most asinine garbage I have heard. I wish I could articulate how repugnant that entire piece was. But I highlight it to show you an example of a dude who looks himself in the mirror and hates what he sees very clearly.
Now it was giving me big time Uncle Ruckus vibes.
He was giving me big time. I hate me, and I want you to hate me too.
Sam, do you know who Uncle Ruckus is?
Yeah, I did not watch.
Every year, my skin just gets more blacker and more darker. I bring it up, I go. Every year, just keep on getting darker. What is he talking about?
Steven. He's Steven from Django. Steven from Django. Put them right next to each other.
That's crazy.
Because how did you make that leap? How did you make the leap? You said it was a.
So Juwan blames white people for him losing games?
Losing games.
Right. Where did that even come from?
Because Daniel has his own reservations about scheme and different things like that. I've never watched a Juwan Howard press conference past when he got the job. I'm just not watching after the game to see what he says about the game. I can all but guarantee Juwan Howard has never even alluded to the fact that white people have anything to do with the reason he's not winning as much as he wants to win. I don't have to watch one. I just know he's never said it. And this guy is tripping. And the fact that he's allowed to say that is crazy.
How do you get that? Right. You got a platform for that. See, you know, he used to work at the Ann Arbor News back in the day. So it fits all into the Ann Arbor theme. A lot of the players back in the 90s, like, man, I was talking to a dude the other day. He was like, man, I couldn't stand that dude. Because just how he is now was how we thought he was when we were players back then.
So let's think about that though. Back then, right? He's a dweeb, obviously. He's a dweeb. And when you're a player, you're all McDonald's All-American like Daniel, and you're looking at like, man, I'm not messing with this dude, right? And so now he's like, oh, I can finally get him back. He was so cool during that Fab Five with his black socks and his baggy shorts, and I can finally get him back. Like, what are you doing, dude? Just relax, man. But I've never heard, you call it rhetoric, such as that. That is extensive self-hate almost. It's like, what?
A big part of it is, Devin, he's pandering to the Christian, and I don't want to make this a political thing, but his show is a semi-political and religious thing together. And so that's why he's trying to make some point about us idolizing celebrities and athletes and coaches. And he goes entirely too far. And it's a bit disturbing. Like, I don't even know where to start because I want to say something I can't really say on camera, right? But to be, keep it where our sponsors don't, whatever, they don't trip. But it's just like that dude really, like, he's really lost it. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. He's lost it, man. It's one of those things where you can't, You can't argue with him. You can't debate him. I've even like posted stuff and erased it. You can't really just you can just gotta leave him over there in his little corner with his little following and let them say and do what they do and just hope it just leave them way over there where they are because he's off the reservation. For
Well,
real.
I mean, since he's taking leaps, we can too. I haven't talked to the man, but he strikes me as an individual who hates who he is, where he came from, who birthed him, who raised him. All these things come across to me just by watching. Since we can just make leaps just by watching people, not having talked to them, right? That goes both ways.
Yeah.
So what kind of abusive background did you come from? Where you hate everything about your upbringing. You hate everything about who raised you. You hate everything about where you came from.
I think I can give you a little bit on that because from Uncle Ruckus, his dad was completely, dehumanized by all the white men that he worked for, right? And so when he got home, he took that out on Uncle Ruckus and all his brothers. And then the mom, she had the blonde hair and carrying on, and she told Uncle Ruckus the lie to make him feel comfortable that he was actually born white and that he suffers from this disease called revitiligo, right? And so because obviously he's delusional, so we might as well just take some delusional stuff that's made, and don't you stop me. We're gonna take some stuff that's made up since he want to make up stuff. He has his mom and his dad was, dehumanized by the white man, and he put that on Uncle Ruckus, but Uncle Ruckus believes he was born white and he has revitiligo. So we have to assume that Whitlock suffers from the same disease.
Hey, what's the call?
Wait, people don't know who Uncle Ruckus is. Can you tell them?
They'll be looking for it and they'll understand it completely.
What's the disease called?
Go here, watch.
It's called revitiligo. It's the opposite of what Michael Jackson got. Every year, my skin just gets more dark and more blacker. Every year.
Not revitiligo.
It's the opposite of what Michael Jackson got. You got it. Michael Jackson continue to get lighter. It's the opposite. I get more black and more darker. That's what Uncle Ruckus and his cousin Jason Whitlock obviously suffer from.
In all seriousness, he takes a coach who is clearly fine. Now he got outside of himself with the smack of Krabenhoff. No one's excusing that. But he had a verbal argument with Turgeon, the Maryland coach, the year before, right? What's the difference between Turgeon and Juwan arguing and Fran McCaffrey and the Illinois staff arguing? You guys remember that? What's the difference? What's the difference between Juwan going off on officials and we just saw Fran McCaffrey do it just this past game? The game that he's if he had watched the Iowa game, he would saw Fran McCaffrey get thrown out of that game.
Yep.
Or don't we see Tom Izzo going off on officials all the time? What's the difference?
Well, if you do,
why is this coach?
If you highlight that, who's gonna click on that though? Because everybody knows that Tom Izzo goes crazy. All these, who's gonna click on that? But guess what? If you put the Juwan, whatever, that's your head. Everybody's gonna click on that. And obviously it's about people clicking on stuff. It's not about what actually happened. Because if he wanted to know what actually happened between Juwan and the strength coach, he would have called you. He can get in touch with you. You easy to find, no? Right? He worked for the Ann Arbor News, so he has connections where he can find out exactly what happened, but he chose not to. Why did he choose not to, Sam? Well, because it's more beneficial to him to just put out whatever he wants to put out, no matter what the facts are. Who cares about facts in 2023? Facts. What actually happened? We want to hear the sizzle, baby. We don't care about what actually happened.
No. So whoever this is, Fred McCaffrey hasn't hit another coach after the game. That's the difference. You don't get the benefit of the benefit of the doubt. So understand the difference that we're talking about here. I'm not even talking about the benefit of the doubt with whether or not he hit John Sanderson, which he did not. That's the only way this benefit of the doubt applies. What we're talking about is, how do you make the leap that he's yelling at officials because he doesn't like white people? How do you make that leap when coaches go off on officials all the time? Why is it when Juwan goes off on officials, it's because he doesn't like white people?
And Sam, I think it's very clear where our stance was. So the person that just commented is like one of the people that are committed to misunderstanding where you're coming from. Like, it's a commitment of like, I heard that you weren't talking about this, but I'm still going to push this, right? Yeah. And I don't deal with those types of people. The people who are committed to misunderstanding, you know what? Just do your deal. Go ahead and move on. Obviously, we never said that him hitting somebody is okay. Him arguing with an official is a normal thing. If I don't agree with something that official does, everybody's arguing with officials. Tom Brady argued with officials. Name the highest of highest, most decorated and people you put on a high pedestal of character and whatever. Patrick Mahomes just lost it on an official. Never done it. It's a sport, and this guy probably that just commented is not a sports guy, and obviously Whitlock never played a sport in his life. While he's talking about Juwan didn't play Little League football, I'm pretty sure Juwan played some other sports except for basketball. But this person obviously never played sports because he doesn't understand the fire that comes with playing sports. And when you put everything into something and you feel, whether it's right or wrong, if you feel a referee is not doing his job correctly or giving you a bad call or whatever the case may be, it boils up a kind of competitive fire in you that you let out on the referee. Is it right? Is it wrong? We're not saying that. But it's a thing that happens in sports. And usually people who haven't participated, they can't fully understand, especially at that high level where it's big business, it's big athleticism, and it's money being made. So that person's committed to misunderstanding. I would appreciate it, Sam, if you didn't put people who are committed to misunderstanding the topic or what we're talking about on the screen. Thank you.
So the reason why I bring it up is to show you, to illustrate the difference. This is not a guy who's looking to uplift anybody.
I've never heard him make a positive anything. I've never heard anything he's ever said positive about anything.
I'm right there with you. And you see right here, these young brothers right here, these young players, these young fellas, reaching back just like we saw all the guys at the at Blake Corum's toy drive last week.
Mm-hmm.
All those guys reaching back, looking to uplift, looking to help. I mean, you heard Semaj Senior saying we're getting kids internet service that would not just.
That's
toys.
wild.
Toys are a
big
thing. That's a necessity in a holiday. I think toys are a need.
Make a donation.
Yeah, but he said we're going beyond that. We're making sure that people can have internet service in their homes that they otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. That's what I'm talking about. You see, you don't want to compare to the lowest common denominator, but it shows you how ridiculous of an individual Jason Whitlock is when you got college players understanding the meaning of their platform way more than this veteran journalist, so-called journalist, does. It's offensive to me that this guy is given a platform that he is so continuously. And I feel like the reason why do I highlight it on this show? Because I feel like we have a responsibility to someone with that kind of platform to shout it down. Not all the time. You don't want to address the ignorance all the time, but this was one time where it applies to Michigan, where he's taking liberties with Juwan. And listen, man, I'm not talking about I'm not going to get into the weeds about what they were arguing about. I am going to get into hierarchy and pecking order. I'm going to get into that because that's essentially what this whole verbal dispute boils down to. It's an exercise in hierarchy and authority and questioning authority and how you question authority. That's what it boils down to. And so just to give you some context, I said, was this as bad to guys on the team? I said, was this verbal altercation, did it rise to the level of tersion? Right? Because we know it wasn't physical. I said, no, it wasn't even like that. It wasn't like tersion. I mean, they had words and it was audible, but it wasn't like tersion. So I'm like, man, what are we talking about? People taking social media and using it as a story. So this is another exercise in why we don't jump at every rumor that is thrown out on social media. Why you aren't talking about? No, I'm not going to talk about it just because somebody on Twitter said it or somebody on the message board said it. That is not a standard. I'm going to address it when I have something to confirm or refute it. Anything said in between is just satiating an appetite for you to hear something right now. And you would think, and this was what was baffling to me, fellas, and you tell me, you guys are in the media now. So people want to hear something all the time. You give them something that's false. but you're giving it to them all the time, and they still. You would think that they would stop coming back when it's false. But as long as you give them something all the time, they keep coming back. I don't understand that. What we're going to do is give you truth. We're going to give you facts. We're going to give you real sources. And it takes time to do those things. And so truth is going to be the standard. Not speed. Truth. Speed will get you got. But see, I think Daniel and Devin, I think what a lot of media today has realized is, speed is lucrative.
Yes.
You say it fast, it could be wrong, but as long as you say it fast, they'll still pay you. And that's ultimately a consumer thing that the consumer got to decide what's important to them.
And most importantly, not only will they pay you, people will click on it. They'll click on it every single time. Negative things sell, period. And I saved a video from Jason Kidd, who was talking in his press conference, and he was in the basis of his comments were, Kyrie and Luka, they're playing good together. But, everybody kind of questioned it. You said it wasn't going to work and all these different things. There's so many negative things out. And he's kind of challenged. He said, listen, guys, it's working now and everybody's doing well and we thought it would and whatever. Why don't you write anything about that, about how positive it is now, right? It's okay to write things that are positive, right? And I guess it's easy to say that because I would click on positive things, but the majority of the world, it's an appetite for controversy and wrong and bad and he might be falling. He's a little too high. Let me see him fall. Oh, this article says he's about to fall. Let's check it out. You know what I mean? I just don't understand about like people. I mean, it's like everybody wants to see everybody fail, and it's just the weirdest thing. And guys like Jason Whitlock are pandering to that. And it's like, man, if I talk about the failure of somebody, whether it's true or false, it'll get traction because people love it. They'll share it and it'll become a viral type of thing. And we'll be talking about it and trying to dismantle it because it's gotten so much traction. How can something so wrong with all these resources in 2023 get so much traction? That is unbelievable to me.
The thing about it, he doesn't, he actually makes things up to try to push these narratives, right? He's in that same segment, he's showing a picture of Juwan's hand on the Wisconsin coach's face, open-handed, whatever. He's constantly repeating, regurgitating. He punched and he threw a punch. He threw a punch. He threw a punch. And he's actually showing a picture where it's not a punch. So it's like he will sit there and show you this, and you can see it with your own eyes, but verbally call it something else over and over again in the way the human minds work. People who love him are going to go around saying, oh, Juwan Howard punched the coach. And that's regurgitating whatever he's, the BS narratives he's pushing. They're going to regurgitate it because he's saying it over and over again. Like he spent countless hours talking about Deion Sanders this year. I'm not the biggest fan of Colorado. I love Michigan and only Michigan. So I don't care what's going on, but I'm not going to say anything negative or try to demean or talk down on anything that's going on. But he has multiple 2-hour segments, DG, where he's talking about just Deion Sanders.
It's like he's the person. It's like, hey, if there's somebody that's black that's having too much success and they're being too brash about it, we make sure, hey, Jason, let's send you out. You make sure you try to knock him down a peg. It doesn't matter if you're telling the truth or not. We'll put some money in your pocket, but make sure you do your best to take him down a peg. He's too brash. He's too confident, no matter who it is. So I'm just telling you, man, Droppin Dimes, we got to just be a little more cool, man. We can't be bringing Semaj on. We can't be doing all this because it makes the show too brash, and he gonna try to tear us down. He gonna put a monkey wrench and all the good stuff we're doing.
Hey, man, all we got to do is show some clips from Django. Show Steven.
I'm just saying, I think Uncle Ruck is better.
I think it's Steven, man. You don't even have to pay him. Just say, show up and do a segment of your show on set. That could be Django too, right there. Steven, return from the dead. Jason Whitlock. I'm just young Steven. He's young Steven. That's what he is. Young Steven is Jason Whitlock. He could play him. He don't even have to rehearse.
For all these dudes in the media, we gotta get Sam a I ain't hard to find sweatshirt, a t-shirt. We gotta get one of them Coach Prime sweatshirts and say I ain't hard to find, because it seems like all these guys want to report on Michigan, but don't have the facts or any type of real information. So in those moments, I think you need to post a sign or just like a bat signal on your social media account that says I ain't hard to find. if y'all need information about,
I'm gonna
if
pin
y'all want facts,
information to the top of my Twitter. If you want to know about this national brand that is Michigan, if something happens in Ann Arbor, just hit this number up, this hotline, real quick, and he'll be able to give you some kind of insight so you don't look like a fool when all the stuff comes out.
Man, if people had a subscription to the site, I posted it that night. And it was about 20 minutes later, other people start posting it too.
So you saying I shouldn't pin your phone number? I should just do the site?
No, you shouldn't pin the phone number.
Hey, don't they have like
I should do the site or your phone number? Which one do you want, Sam? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, you should pin the phone number.
Hey, Sam, don't they have a bat signal with your picture in it going around on there? Do we need to get that going, man?
They do.
We gotta get that going.
So, fellas, I am really looking forward to. Let me highlight this again: the destination and the toy drive, the toy giveaway over at the Blue Leprechaun. That is going to be one of our stops on the My Ann Arbor tour that we do, brought to you by Destination Ann Arbor. This Sunday, you can come out, donate a toy, take a picture with Will, who, by the way, I didn't even give you guys a chance to react to Will. Not only is all Big Ten first team, did you see the young fella is an All-American? Did you see he's All-American, DG?
I did. I mean, are we surprised? And it's super cool. He didn't play the whole year.
Yeah,
but he played so well and did so much. And everybody can see the talent that he has. It's super impressive. And then to on the heels of that, be doing all that he's doing in the community, outstanding.
Yeah, you can't help but be proud of these guys on this team. That is certainly true when you watch them out in the community doing what they do. I know that a lot of folks are talking about the Rose Bowl, but one of the players said, it was Blake. He said, so many people talking about all this extracurricular stuff with Signgate and everything like that's who we are. First of all, it undermines what we do. But this is what it's all about. Giving away turkeys at Thanksgiving, using your platform to help others. That's why, again, you show the contrast. Look at what these young college players are doing versus what this grown man was doing, taking liberties he just took with this Juwan story, which is a story, and I will be addressing it further over on the MichiganInsider.com. Another thing that we're going to be doing as we get with Will Johnson and we go out and about on his favorite spots, he mentioned the Slurpin' Turtle. I've never been. Have you ever been to Slurpin' Turtle?
I went when it first opened back in the day.
So cuisine, for folks who don't know about it, can you highlight the cuisine?
It's the Asian cuisine. It's sushi. It's everything you want. Honestly, man, I haven't had it in a long time. It's been a long time. Like I said, I went when it first kind of opened, but I was as impressed. And Sam and Daniel, I don't know if you know Daniel, but I dabble in cuisine. I love a good dish. I go to great restaurants. I love restaurants. I love food. That's one of my favorite things to do. Everybody has their hobbies. My hobby, eating food, right? Good food. And I would put high marks on Slurpin' Turtle. Very, very good. Odd name, weird to say, but it's very, very delicious.
All right. So this one I haven't dropped on Will yet. Haven't told him that it's coming as a stop on the My Ann Arbor tour stops, right? But we're going to get out and head on over to a golf simulator. So we'll highlight that here in a moment as we bring to you the people. We're about to show it to the people again. Let me bring that to the people one more time.
Drop that track, Sam.
So, fellas, one of the places that we are going to go is we are going to head on over to X Golf Ann Arbor. So, X Golf Ann Arbor is a golf simulator. I don't know if you guys know this, but Will fancies himself a golf aficionado, and so in his spare time, his leisure time in the off season, he likes to get to a golf course. But what do you do when you get a few hours to yourself and you want to unwind as you get ready for bowl prep, right? Some dudes watch movies, some dudes play video games. What we're gonna do with old Mr. Will Johnson is we're gonna get him over to X Golf Ann Arbor so he can experience what they have on tap for him there. So as I bring about the screen so you can kind of see what it's all about, X Golf Ann Arbor. We actually did a remote there. I want to say it was back in 20 it might have been in 2019. It was when we did that. And over there, man, here's the crazy thing, fellas. So I couldn't hit the ball. I
Not
couldn't hit the
surprising.
ball. What do you mean it's not surprising? What, you can hit the ball?
Of course.
Of course, man.
So you hit the ball every time.
Yep.
See, so this is where we're going to head on over to. I would love it if you guys were in town to experience it with us, so we can really see if you hit the ball every time. Because I whipped. If I took 10 swings, I whiffed on half of them. It's the craziest thing that you could put the little white ball right down there in front of you and miss it.
Sam, I would say the reason you unable to hit the ball is because of white people, I think. Basically, right? Because right? Judging by Jason Whitlock's logic, white people are the cause of all black problems, and your black problem of not being able to hit the ball is because of white people. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't care what you're talking about, Sam. It's because of white people. So whatever.
That would be something Jason Whitlock would say. That would be something. But what Jason Whitlock, see, what he wouldn't know is Debbie Williams-Hoke, former Michigan student athlete and a golf teacher here in Washtenaw County, and she has a great program called The Magic of Christmas right here in Ann Arbor for 28 years. She has been gathering support from the Ann Arbor Police Department, the University of Michigan Athletic Department, the school system, going around and finding support to get kids Christmas, give kids a Christmas that otherwise wouldn't have it. And so, but she's a golf teacher. We were there and we were talking about the magic of Christmas. It was around this time. And then we went over to the golf simulator. I couldn't hit the ball, and she gave me a couple of tips. And so I missed the first 5 or so, and I hit the next 5 because of Debbie. So Jason Whitlock wouldn't know that because he wouldn't look into the story enough to know that I started hitting the ball, Jason, because of a white lady. Bet you he wouldn't know that though, because he's Jason Whitlock. He'd make assumptions like Jason Whitlock did. With I like what you did there, DG. You're right. It was a great segue to the early portion of the show. But in all seriousness, we're gonna make it over to X Golf with Will Johnson and have him go through this, because this is something I think this is gonna be right in his wheelhouse. So we're surprising him with this. This is one stop that he doesn't know about. So we're gonna go to the M Den. We're gonna go to the Slurping Turtle. We got the Blue Leprechaun stop for his toy drive. We're gonna go over to Puffer Reds because I mean, he's a fashion dude, so we got to go to Puffer Reds, right? So those will be the 5 stops on his My Ann Arbor tour. But this is one that we're gonna drop on him so he can keep his keep his leisure, his off-season leisure. He can get it going during the season as well. So we're looking forward to that. That's going to be on the My Ann Arbor tour that we're looking forward to continue or beginning, I should say, here in a matter of weeks. So be on the lookout for that. We'll give you more details in the weeks to come. But folks, you know how I like to do it. I like to tell you, I'm going to drop that track. Oh, it didn't finish. Now we got. I just like. Hey, so Daniel, before we get out of here, people were talking about slandering. People have been slandering my man Bill Laimbeer forever. Okay. It came up yesterday on my morning show And I said, man, Bill Laimbeer was just a physical player. Bill Laimbeer wasn't a thug. Bill Laimbeer wasn't a goon. He just played a physical brand of basketball that said, if you drive it down this lane, you're going to pay for it. We're going to make you earn it. We're going to make you earn it, Larry Bird. We're going to make you earn it, Charles Barkley. Right? 2 dudes he fought. We're going to make you earn it, MJ. Now, MJ never threw any punches. Right? But he got ejected 10 times in his basketball career. I said, man, guys these days get ejected way more. You know who's a bigger goon, a way bigger goon than Bill Laimbeer? Draymond Green. Draymond Green. Now, understand this. I'm not one of those people that when days, we covered him in high school. So, trajectory of his recruitment. He loved Michigan State. You know, his coach, Lou Dawkins, is one of my dudes, or his old coach, his high school coach, Lou Dawkins, used to coach Saginaw High. One of my guys, one of my dudes. Love Lou to this day. And, you know, he wanted to go to Michigan State. Michigan State wasn't recruiting him like that. He commits to Kentucky, right? Well, I think it was when Tubby got fired, his recruitment opens up, and John Beeline goes hard in the paint. He goes hard in the paint. He's pushing hard, and it's looking like he's going to get him. But then Izzo can't let that happen. We can't let a Saginaw dude go to, especially when it wanted to go to Michigan State. We can't let him go to Michigan. He came in and he got him. And I think Draymond turned into a better player. Because if they knew Draymond was as good as he actually was and is, they would have recruited him like that from the start. But they didn't know. They didn't know he was going to be that. Right? He turned into one of the greatest winners in program history. I did not hold the Michigan State thing against him going to the league. I wanted to see him be successful. I looked at him more as a Saginaw guy than a Michigan State guy, a Saginaw Valley guy. He's in the Saginaw Valley League. You got Flint Central, Flint Northern, Flint Northwestern, all the Flint teams, all the Saginaw teams, Saginaw High, Saginaw Arthur Hill. I didn't like him in high school, but once you move on, you start to love him. You start to love him more. So I appreciated that he took the brand of basketball and upbringing that we have around here. I appreciated that he was able to take it to the NBA. And then somewhere along the line, Daniel, it kind of got different. I want to say around the time that he punched LeBron in the nether. Around that time was when it started to not be basketball anymore. It wasn't just hard fouls. It was, hey, man, this dude is being dirty.
Yeah.
And now I think he's just a dirty dude playing basketball at this point.
Yeah, the Saginaw coming back out of not just playing, but it's just one of the things where no, it's one of the things where he's starting to let his team down and hurt his team now. Like, how many games have we seen, like you said, since that LeBron incident where the game is in the balance, it's a 2-3 point game either way, and Draymond gets kicked out the game, and now the Warriors end up losing. Like, whether we, you know, there's differing of opinions on, you know, the quality of player he is. Some people think he's just lucky to be. I think he's a very, very good basketball player. I would love to have him on my team, minus all of the drama, right? But it's one of those things where, like, hey, man, like, at one point are the Warriors just going to say he's costing us more games than he's winning for us? Like, he's at this point in this career, he's not having any of those monster intangible games where he's dominating the game without taking a shot anymore, right? He's not doing those things anymore. So when does the drama outweigh the production where they decide to move on from him? And so I don't know if they're there yet, but seeing him get ejected again last night, that was a bit crazy. Like, you punched dude. Like, you could say it was an accident, but you punched dude. You knew what, like, you spun around and turned and hit dude and probably thought better of it halfway through and kind of went limp and hit him. Like, come on, man. Like, that's not even a basketball movement. That's not even a basketball play. And he's probably going to get 5 to 10 games for that, as he should. That was a bit crazy.
Yeah, I think it's extremely weird. And it always confuses me of, like, it's like, take Draymond at his height, like the best he ever been, and put him on any other team without 2 of the best shooters in the world. And what do you believe he is? Like, not me, not my opinion. What do you believe he is? Is he a 3 to 3 times? No, it's not. It's no. Over and again, no. Unless he's playing, maybe if he was on LeBron's team, right? And even on LeBron's team, LeBron getting rid of him. You can't shoot. You can't help me. You're smaller than me. You're trying to facilitate, do the same thing I do, right? So at what point or are we gonna be like, hey, he's just not helping the team? But what I think the Warriors are gonna do, they're gonna ride with him till the wheels fall off. Because I think they think, okay, everybody's getting older. We're not gonna do somebody who is a big part of our dynasty bad, right? We're just gonna have to ride with them, and the wheels gonna fall off, and the Warriors will be back to what they probably were before the Steph Curry era and all those different things. And I think that, there's some honor in that, the kind of loyalty they're showing to him. But if I'm a person that's running a business, I want my thing to continue to roll, and it can't continue to roll when goofy stuff like this is happening.
Yeah. So here is for folks who didn't see him. He just let Nurkic. He said that wasn't on purpose. He said I was just selling a call. I'm not a flopper. I was just selling the call.
So he didn't flop and he didn't hit him on purpose.
You're right.
Which one is it?
Right, what call are you selling? Because he grabbed your hip?
He touched your right hip and you spun that back the opposite way. That ain't the way you would spin if somebody grabbed your right hip. You would spin the other way. But you right-handed, so you got to make sure you get that right hand on the swing because you ain't really punching with your left hand first. Everybody start with the right.
That's supreme ninja training right there.
Like, come on, man. This is why I say this has turned into something more than other than basketball with him. It's not just basketball anymore. Now you just being dirty. And you try to insult people's intelligence saying that, first of all, selling, flopping is trying to sell a car. That's what flopping is. Like, what are we talking about?
It's actually probably by the definition.
Like, dude.
I don't know if it's in the dictionary, but it probably says flopping. Trying to sell a car. The end. That's all it says. Period. Right after that. Adjective.
Right. And then he says he doesn't do it on purpose. Like, come on, man.
And then Buddy just laid there too. Like, what? Come on, like somebody has to like. I'm not advocating for all-out NBA brawl.
I knew he was getting to it. Somebody got to put hands on the ball.
Somebody, man, it's gonna happen one day. I don't know when or where, but it might not happen until he's pushing 50 in the local men's league, trying to still get some run in. But it's gonna happen one day, I promise you.
So that's kind of my point that I wanted to get to. What's kind of struck me. He hits dudes who he knows not gonna hit him back. Think about that for a second. So he punches LeBron James in the nether region. So that's saying, all right, I know nobody on this team is gonna do anything. So this much soft dudes. I wonder if J.R. Smith seemed like he probably be about that.
Steven Adams before too. So that's he get a strike for that one.
well, he hit LeBron, and he knows LeBron. It's funny. You see when they threw Ime Udoka out the game?
Yeah.
Because he was talking to LeBron. So he told LeBron, stop crying and stop acting like a.
Yeah.
And LeBron started walking up on him. And he said, stop walking over here like you gonna do something.
Yeah.
Like you gonna do something. That's why, see, Ime Udoka would have been the one, because he's telling LeBron, like, I know you ain't gonna I know you ain't gonna you walking over here like you gonna do something. Come on. And the ref seemed to not know that LeBron is not about to fight anybody, let alone a coach. Right. So you don't have to worry, ref. You don't got to throw anybody out of this game.
I don't know, man. He might have gave you a curveball and threw hands with him. I'm just saying.
No, hey, DG, this is the NBA. Nobody's fighting. The NBA has more fake tough guys than probably any other sport.
Oh, trust me, I know. and to the Lambeer point that you kind of pointed out in the beginning, Lambeer, no, he wasn't a thug. He knew that basketball players, and this is, some obviously Daniel's different, a lot of different players different, but at the core of basketball players, they're inherently soft. That's why I was good at basketball in high school. I'm just gonna bully you because you're soft. Right? You don't want to lift weights. You don't want to do all this. I'm just telling you, a football player get on that basketball court, it's like, okay, you're soft. I'm gonna just bully you around. But basketball players, all of them aren't soft. But inherently, when you go percentage, a higher percentage of basketball players are soft than they're tough.
I disagree with the premise of your point.
Yeah, you can say all you want.
That Lambeer knew the NBA. No, Lambeer was just about that.
No,
because he said, "Look, I am going to dish it. I'm going to dish it out. And if you want to bring it, bring it. Because he was fighting everybody. Man, did you see the fight between him and Robert Parrish?
Yeah.
Now, understand, Robert Parrish is mad at life. He's mad at life because I look like Robert Parrish.
Man,
Understand, I am upset with my mama because I look like I'm Robert Parrish. It's like Sam.
That's so messed up.
Sam Cassell look at the world. He mad at the world because I look like
Sam Cassell. Oh.
Robert Parrish was Sam Cassell first. Sam Cassell. Robert Parrish looked like he walking around with hemorrhoids. He was born with a hemorrhoid. That's what he looks like. Robert Parrish looked like he needs tough medicated pads all the time. You got to understand that this man is angry walking in the gym. Is the point. And so you do something to Robert Parrish, he's gonna swing on you because he's just an angry human being. He fought Robert Parrish. He fought Larry Bird. He fought Charles Barkley. He was fighting everybody, DG.
Well, so, I'm not saying that he wasn't, but the whole thing is I know that basketball guys just aren't very tough. And if I can get under their skin, they can't play good. Because I'm telling you, the mental toughness in football is a little different because people are, running into you trying to kill you.
Yeah, hold on, D. So I wouldn't say basketball players are soft. So there's like a spectrum, right? There's the tough guys at one end, the softies at Ryan Day guys at the other end, right? So
why Ryan Day catching strays? What did Ryan Day do to you?
No, just with basketball.
With basketball, Ryan Day, come on, man.
With basketball, most of us lie somewhere in the middle. I'm not going to say it's like a lot of soft. Most of us lie somewhere in the middle, but you do have your softies. But it's just the guys that are elite find a way to get stronger, to get more towards the tougher side, right? So it's just one of them things where we don't have, like you said, we're not running into each other, trying to knock each other into next week. So it doesn't require as much toughness as being a football player. you could be an elite basketball player and not like physicality.
And never even step on a grape.
Yeah.
Hey man. So think about it. He sucker punched Jordan Poole. Now, first of all, it's a sucker punch. But second of all, it's Jordan Poole. He hit a dude that he knows.
TikToks.
Right. He knows not going to hit him back. Like, come on, man. So that's what I'm starting to pick up from Draymond, which I never would have expected from him. Not a Saginaw dude.
Yeah, I see big time bully for sure.
Yeah, that's what it's starting to come off like. It's coming off real bully tendencies, man. And I he's not a Michigan guy, but I'm disappointed as a Saginaw Valley guy. I am. That he's turned into this dude who couldn't take. They said JP was giving it to him. They said JP caught him. He caught him triple single. He was telling him, I'm more the man at Michigan State than you ever were. He was like, man, he was giving him all kinds of giving the business. He was
and not only that, giving them buckets in the game they were playing as well.
Right. So, but you would think a guy from Saginaw could give that right back. That's why I kind of asked the question in Semaj. Like, if you talk like that, you got to be able to take it. That's why you don't hear me getting all outside myself when Buckeyes have something to say, because I always got something to say to Buckeyes, right? I would have something to say to Spartans, but they're not relevant. So I don't have anything to say about them these days. So it's all Michigan State. All Ohio State. But if they come back, I'm like, okay. They just don't have anything to come back with right now. That's how you got to be. And I'm just surprised that we see Draymond stooping to this level. And you say, when are they going to purge? I don't think it's a Draymond question anymore.
Yeah.
There's so much of that team that's way past his prime. You saw he benched Clay last night in the clutch as they were, of this game. He benched Clay and Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is supposed to be in his prime. But Klay Thompson looks like a shell of himself.
Yeah.
Now, so it's not just a Draymond question, Daniel.
I think with Draymond, if he's come playoff time, he's a lot more valuable than he is right now. So it's become a point where they just have to make it through the season, make it through the regular season, and hopefully that they have a good enough seed to where they're going to have some favorable matchups and play some teams that they match up well with. But it's like through these months, you just got to make it through. It's like surviving Draymond. You just got to make it through and hope you get to the playoffs in one piece. And then he becomes a lot more valuable player than what he is right now. Like right now, when the scores are 140 to 130, like his game, like is not the same. But now in the playoffs and there's less possessions, he becomes a high IQ guy. And that's what's strange to me. Like he's a very high IQ basketball player to say that to have these type of incidents on a consistent basis. Like I say all the time, I would love to have him on my team. I would love to be a point guard and give it up to him and be able to come off a screen. He's gonna put the ball on the money. And I know I'm gonna get a good look because Draymond is able to initiate offense from a perspective that teams aren't ready for, right? But it's like now at this point in his career, man, he has to.
But Daniel, it's like, you say high IQ guy, but you keep doing this goofy stuff that would prove to have a low IQ. That's right, like saying, yeah, man, Daniel lie a lot, but he really a truthful guy. What? Sounds like he's a liar to me. You know what I mean?
He lacks emotional intelligence, I would say. Emotional.
Jeez Louise.
So basketball IQ, sure. Emotional IQ, very low.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be one of those things where he and Clay, if they reimagine this team, I think those are commodities that they try to purge, try to ship off, or let go, let leave, and try to find some younger replacements. While Steph is still Steph. Steph's still Steph right now.
So good.
It's just the rest of them aren't themselves anymore. They've changed. Steph hasn't. He's still out there doing his thing. So shall be interesting. But I thought that was a contrast to bring up as well. This has been a show about contrast. Contrast between the young fellas that you see right here in the background. They are representing their universities, representing where they come from, representing their communities very well, putting on this toy drive. They want you to come on out Sunday, noon till 2, donate a toy. Will Johnson, the All-American, all Big Ten first teamer. Semaj Morgan, I think, is going to have some accolades like that before the end of his career, off to a good start of his career as a freshman wideout at the University of Michigan. Go to the Blue Leprechaun this Sunday between noon and 2, donate a toy. You'll get a chance to take a picture with these guys. I'm sure some of their teammates will be there. You know who else will be there? I got to share this. Golden Limo coming out to support Sean Duval. We showed the vignette a couple of weeks ago where he was where he had done that work with Fred Jackson over at Ypsi High when Fred was a coach over there. And they replaced the field, they replaced the goalposts. Kids didn't have shoes, kids didn't have helmets, they didn't have shoulder pads, they didn't have transportation to and from. They had to go to team camp out at Grass Lake. They thought it was Lake Michigan, just getting to different places. So Sean, today, as a matter of fact, got with Freddie J. Freddie J is working at Michigan right now, still reaching back over to Ypsi. So Sean and Fred got together today and took like 20, 25 kids over to Puffer Reds to shop for Christmas.
That's dope.
That's what I'm talking about. That's reaching back. That's what you get with people like these young men, people like Freddie J, people like Sean Duval at Golden Limo, who's going to come out to the toy drive and donate toys to the toy drive as well. If you don't know who I'm talking about, if you don't know what Golden Limousine is all about, not just one of our generous sponsors here on the show, but a great transportation service, the best transportation service in southeastern Michigan. They transport the Michigan football and basketball teams, all Michigan athletics, University of Michigan departments across the campus. They ride on Golden. Those Golden buses that you see, they aren't actually golden, but they're black with the Golden Limousine emblem and insignia on them. Wherever you see them going, they're riding comfortably in luxury and style and safely as well. It is an experience when you ride on Golden, and that's what Sean, as I sat down with him a few weeks ago and we talked about it, that's what he made sure to get across.
We got to get one wrapped with DG's likeness for next football season.
You have invested a lot of time and energy in making the Golden experience different.
Yeah.
So if you can explain to someone who hasn't had the experience what it's like and why it's different, how would you do that?
It's just a formula for us, and it's kind of really basic and simple, and almost common sense. It's a clean car, on time, with a professional chauffeur that knows where they're going. There's a lot of components that make up what a clean car is, what on time means, what a professional chauffeur means. But when you put it all together, it's that formula that if we keep to that promise, our customers are going to be really happy. And we always remember that there's a person in the back seat. There's a person a lot of times who booked the transportation for the person in the back seat. And both of those people have to be really happy. So our booking experience has to be really well done. The billing experience has to be really well done. But then that person in the back seat that gets to experience the one-on-one with a chauffeur, they never see me, they never see any of our billing people or reservations. They only get to touch Golden through that chauffeur. So we put so much time and energy and effort into our chauffeur team because we want them to be the stars. They're the talent of Golden Limousine, and that's how we treat them.
Yes, sir. That, folks, is what Golden is all about. And certainly you're going to see them out and about on Sunday at the toy drive donating toys to Will Johnson and Semaj Morgan's toy drive at Blue Leprechaun, noon until 2 this Sunday. Hope to see you there. You donate a toy and you will be able to take pictures with the guys. So who do we have on DG's microphone? How you doing, young fella?
Great. How are you?
Doing all right. What's your name?
Musa Mubarak.
Been hearing a lot about you, Musa. You play quarterback, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man. So are you learning a lot from Coach Gardner over there?
Yes. I'm learning a lot.
You learning a lot?
No trader can do anything that he does for us.
He's the best.
Yes.
We're gonna be checking for you, man. Congratulations on how well you've been playing and keep working hard.
Thank you.
Tell him your name again.
Musa El Mubarak.
Musa El Mubarak.
I can't say I disagree with anything you said there.
How old are you, Musa, real quick?
9.
9 years old. We're going to remember the name, Musa El Mubarak. And that's a great way to close the show. Folks, we appreciate you joining us. We appreciate you spending time with us. We appreciate our generous sponsor over at Destination Ann Arbor, your tour guides for all things Ann Arbor. Be sure that if you're looking for a place to stay, a place to eat, you're bringing an event to town, you want to know what events are coming to town, be sure to check the Destination Ann Arbor website. They are always there with the latest information on all things Ann Arbor. You can find them at annarbor.org. Again, that is annarbor.org. Until the next time, folks, thanks for watching another edition of Steady Droppin' Dimes. We'll see you next time.